Hi guys, welcome to the first episode of free-to-play Squad Busters. So this is going to be all about maxing out our squad to be ultras or ultimates, and we're going to be playing some squad league to start. So let's see what map and modifier we got. We got Emerald Grove with loot machines, and I'm about to tell you why Goblin might be one of the best starting picks. So let's get into it. So knowing that the modifier is loot machines, we're going to really need to prioritize getting chest keys so we can open up chests, and we're going to pick Goblin off the start because it's 12 free coins and we can just turbo around and have a very easy start to the game and just farm easily without having to bust that many monsters, and we're going to pick Goblin again. So an Ultra Goblin here is just so useful because you get a lot more coins whenever you pick him, and we just pick Shelly. But he just really helps out because you get so many free coins and lets you pick so many chests. Like we just got 15 gems, but just wait until we get some chest keys because then we don't have to worry about having enough gold for loot machines or chests. So we just got Fusion Golem, and now we have 38 or 28 coins, and our chest price is very low, which makes farming super easy. So as you can see, we're running and we're grabbing the chest keys, and this is just going to be so useful later on while everyone else is struggling to get enough coins. We can just run from chest to chest and grab characters and get fusions like Shelly and, you know, get the chicken, and this just helps us run around, rotate easier, and overall just justifies why picking Goblin as a starting character in Squad League or in general is just such a great decision. So as you can see, the Goblin pick from earlier really just lets us run around because you can see we're in second, we have a decently sized squad, and we are just able to turbo everywhere and farm whether we need coins, whether we need gems, whether we just want to claim a loot machine, and now we are just set up in a great position with three fusions, one non-fused archer, and pretty good positioning. So what this will just make the middle game easier because yet again we had a good start, which can translate to a good end game and a good mid game. So by picking Leon, we were able to sneak up on this guy and take out a few of his characters, which not only gave us more gems, but let us just gain such a good position. And then we started pushing this guy with a ring. And the reason why this was easy is because he didn't have that many characters and only one fusion, which we were easily able to take out. So after we used invisibility spell to sneak past him, we got some more chest keys which came out. It's two free chests. And then we just ran back to the middle and tried to chase this guy down who was invisible, and he just did not let up, which was unfortunate, but so we just followed him, which didn't really help. And then we got pinched, and we somehow were able to get out of it using the golden turbo boot, which let us get to a chest, grab the Ice Wizard, and defend against this guy and make him back off. So entering the home stretch, I knew I had to lock in, and we grabbed some gems from one of the loot machines and then hit the rage on this guy. And unfortunately, while we didn't to take any of his troops out, we were able to threaten him and make him back off, which is all we needed. And then we just ran down and tried to chase the guy in second. And I don't know how we got his Colt to like 60% HP, and then we just could not catch up to him, and I'm not sure why. And after trying to go back in the middle and getting chased off by a guy with a fuse tank, we decided to go for him again, and we just couldn't because our troops weren't at max, so we picked Battle Healer. But we just tried and we could not get this guy. Like, I just don't know how many turbos he had or something, but he was able to run from us, which sucks. And we actually did end up getting his troop, and we did get second, which was very nice because, it's very frustrating to chase someone down because it seems like they just never run out of turbo. But second place is not bad, and I will gratefully accept that. So, what? Knowing that, we weren't even close to the guy in first place, but let's open up the chest, and we're hoping for a multitude of characters. So in this case, we ended up getting a rare chest from the battle, and we opened it and it contained Jessie. And Jessie's turret is very strong, so I'm completely satisfied. And we actually got her halfway to an ultra, and we got a star chest. Now, these star chests are great forms of progression, but we opened up a pinata first, which had some baby mortises in it, and then we claimed our star chest. Now, like I said, these things are great source of progression because it's at least 100 units, or if you don't have a character, it's also great. And we got a super Colt. Now, I don't use Colt, and I really don't plan to because I have a lot of other attackers, but hey, he's now pretty close to Ultra and Ultimate form, so that was nice. And then we hopped into another match. So looking at the queue, let's see what we get, and we got Troublesome Gulch with Timeout. So we're going to need to play aggressive and especially farm a lot of monsters in order to stay alive and keep our timer somewhere manageable. So again, knowing that we're playing timeout, we need aggressive characters and we need good farmers. So we picked Battle Healer off the start, which is definitely not a good move because Battle Healer is a support character, not good at farming. So instead, we want attackers like Bo and Shelly. So because in timeout that you have this clock over your head, and if it goes down to 0, you get busted. You have to constantly keep on farming monsters. So this is why monsters that are easy to take out are really worth the farm because you can just farm clocks off of them easily and keep your timer relatively high. So this is also the reason why you don't see people attack each other because during that time you're not gathering clocks. So this is why it's sort of risky to attack boss monsters or other teams because you don't get clocks unless you defeat them. So usually people in this game will tend to play a bit more passive and just farm more. So now that we're almost done with farming and we're going to attack these mouse robots for a time refresh, we can go attack the kaiju and the boss robot on the lower right. Now, don't ask me why these spawn so low. Usually they spawn closer towards the middle, but they did, and that means free gems. And because we have such a high amount of clocks, we can easily farm these guys for gems and a higher placement. Now from farming that, we were able to get a pretty good positioning. As you can see, we're in 4th and we haven't even finished the kaiju off. And so we took out the kaiju and then we were able to rotate back up, grab a fusion archer, and then continue to farm relatively easily without getting pushed by a squad or our clock getting very low. So pretty much we did nothing here except just run around aimlessly, but then we rotated to the top right and there was a guy with no fusions, and since we have fusions we were able to push him and we just trapped him and we ultimately ended up busting him. So this is why timeout just means you have to farm very quickly because then you end up like this guy with no fusions and getting pushed by a very strong player with a good comp. Now the thing is, I would have continued except the clock kicked in and I had to stop to farm, so I didn't get busted trying to run him down. So we spent the next 10 to 15 seconds just busting monsters for their clocks so we didn't time out. And this is one of the things that sucks about this game mode is that if you don't have enough clocks, you're really gonna struggle to play aggressive and just generally be in a good position. But once we did get enough clocks, we were sitting pretty comfortably with 3rd place in a decent squad. So we weren't really able to do anything for the rest of the game because maybe our squad was too small, but we just needed to keep on farming clocks because that is pretty much the whole thing about this game. And we tried to push this guy, as you can see, but we ended up disengaging from the fight, so we didn't lose any more clocks or the fight in general. So we just farmed at the back for a moment, and then as you can see, we toss a furnace in the middle because the thing is sometimes the range of turrets gets extended because of placement, but then we dropped down to 4th and we immediately went into the mid to try to play aggressive and we were able to pinch this guy, but then the clock started getting low again and this time we did go for him. And I'm not sure if squads drop clocks, but as you can see we're at like 10 seconds and we just had to completely farm for the rest of the game because if we get busted all of that work is going to be for nothing. And thankfully um we did end up farming off enough clocks to cut it. You see that guy who was just on my left? Don't be like that guy. You want to keep on farming clocks, so that means even if you just have to bust some monsters to keep your clock above where you want it to be, that's good. So we ended with around 9 seconds left, which is nice, and we placed 3rd, which isn't bad at all. So we got a multitude of rewards and let's open them up and see what we get. So let's see, we got a big common chest here and it has heavy, which gets doubled. So we got 12 plus some doublers and coins, which is always good. And let's evolve those heavies. And So we actually have a second skin werewolf, but Solar Punk just looks so much better. Let's all be real here. And that's gonna end it for the first episode of Free to Play Squad Busters. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any more content, and we'll see you guys next time.